Hello and welcome to this week's video. It is a Friday and I'm going to take you with me today. I've got a day at the yard this morning and then I'm off for some coaching, so I will take you with me, and I've got a couple of things that I want to talk about. One being boots, and what we've been doing with him recently. There's been quite a few changes for him and he has made some enormous progress, so I'm really pleased, because he's been a really slow burn project, long term. I don't know the best way to describe it, but it hasn't been a quick process, that is for sure. Not that it's really ever quick with any horse, but this one has been particularly lengthy in working him out and finding out what's going on, basically, and then improving on the training, of course. So as you can tell, there's many pieces to that puzzle, so I'm going to talk more about that, and I'm also going to talk a bit more about all of the training content that I have been publishing over on a different platform that I think maybe some of you guys might be interested in. So stay tuned and I will take you with me today, and along with my day, I will tell you about these various things. So I have done my list of riding for the day. I've obviously got to the yard. I realised I didn't tell you all that. Sorry. First horse is Mo. We're going to go out for a little hack, and then while I'm on my hack, I can talk to you about various things that are going on. Somebody's looking at me because I'm talking to a camera. Never get used to that. Never get used to people thinking that you're a weirdo for talking to yourself. Little do they know. Here we are, out for a hack. So now Mo, you're going to have to be tolerant and let me do this. You going to do that and just go for a walk around the edge of these fields? We'll see. So I wanted to come on here and talk about a few different things, and the first thing is my Patreon page. So I have always wanted to share more knowledge with you guys, but as you can understand, this is what I do for a living. This isn't my hobby, and so all of the knowledge that I have accrued, gained, I don't know, learnt over the years, I would love to be able to pass on to you lot, but as I hope you can understand, I don't want to do that totally for free. I wanted to be able to really connect with you guys on a more personal level in terms of training, and that is what I have been able to do. So through lockdown, I have been filming lots of content, and I'm talking 20 videos or so that I have now been posting on my Patreon page. So I'll put the link in the description below for it. I ask for a small contribution. So there are 3 tiers, but I'll talk about the first 2 to start with. So there's tier 1, which is £1 a month. Patreon put a little tax on it, so it's £1.20 I think per month, and that is all of the podcasts that I've been doing. So not only are there videos, but there are podcasts. So the podcasts are ride-along podcasts, some of them are more sort of thoughtful ones of things you can be thinking about maybe before you ride. I need to swap arms. Oh, that hurts. I need a selfie stick. And they have been proven to be really good. I've had lots of amazing feedback on them. People saying that they have helped their confidence massively because of the way that I explain things. It's very step by step, it's very methodical, it's very calm. So for example, I've just recorded one all about position, so you know, I talk you through it as if I'm sitting on a horse. I shut my eyes and I imagine being on a horse, and then I talk you through the points of focus that are really positive and things to be thinking about. I've just got to get through some muddy bit, hang on. Right, safely through the muddy part. And so those are the ride-along podcasts are proving to be really helpful and really positive, and I've had amazing feedback, and you guys saying that it was like having a lesson. Pretty cool really, for £1 a month, and I put those out pretty much every fortnight, and I hope, you know, sometimes it might be a little more sporadic if I've had a big show like the Nationals, for example, but I really try to get that content out regularly for you guys because I understand how important it is to be consistent. And then on top of that, so a lot of you know I do a lot of groundwork, and the groundwork is incredibly important to me, and I wanted a way of sharing that with more of you. I've had a lot of people ask me on here in comments, oh, how can I teach my horse to present to the mounting block like that? Actually, Obi. So this is a horse with the learned skill. He knows what I want from him. He understands to come to the block and to find this lovely restful posture. And I have now explained all of it step by step, totally not skipping any bits out, nothing, over on my Patreon page. And so you guys can learn all of that groundwork. I'm asking is for her to start stepping across and really softening and moving her whole body. This is the same as from when I ride her. When I ride her, sometimes she can get a little up and tight in her body, and I want her to loosen. So again, it's just coming back to what is important for this horse. So it's been amazing to share all of those groundwork practices with you, because I just take the inside rein and I put my hand on his body and I just there waiting for him to soften the neck, and then you can see he's really finding the rest. With everybody on my Patreon page, sorry, maybe not with you, maybe you aren't a patron, but it's been liberating to be able to do that, because I have a lot of stuff in my mind that I want to share, a lot of things that I've learned and a lot of ways of being with horses that I think are very, very important, and I wanted a way of sharing that. And I hope you can understand that I don't want to do that totally for free, because it's taken me a long time and cost me a lot of money in training, and you know, you don't go to your riding coach and expect to have a lesson for free, so it's kind of the same thing. So the middle tier, so you've got the £1 tier, which will get you all of the ride along podcasts and any other, you know, I often put special deals up there that my sponsors give me to give to you guys. So that's another thing that I do. I can, you know, give you promotions and early access, that kind of thing. And then the £5 a month tier, which I think ends up maybe £5.60 a month when it comes to the taxes that Patreon add, which I don't get, by the way. That is all of the video content. So I've been doing training sessions with Megan. To this week's video, we are going to be doing training with Miriam and Megan again. We've been riding, she's been riding, I've been coaching her, and we've videoed full sessions so you guys can see all of what we do, the good bits, the bad bits, the great bits, and everything in between. So you might have skipped along through this part of the video because it doesn't interest you, and I totally get that, it's totally fine. But you know, it is a amazing thing for me to be able to share more with you guys. All of these things are kind of a way for me to be able to help you more. That's literally why I'm here. I started my YouTube channel because I wanted to share more. I did all of those top tips videos way back when because I wanted to share more knowledge. So here I am sharing more knowledge, and I'm loving it so far. We do Q&As where you guys get to come on live on a Zoom call and ask me questions, and it's been amazing. It's a lovely community, and you guys chat to each other in the comments, and it's been really great. So if you are interested, there is a link below, and I would love to have some more of you there. It is a small amount of money to you, but it means a huge amount to me because it really allows me to do this more, and I love this sharing with you all. So I'm going to carry on enjoying my lovely peaceful hack with my lovely horse, and I will see you when we're back at the yard and share some more insight into what I'm doing today. I've got quite a few to ride actually. I've got, I think, 4 to hack out myself. Megan is away today, it's her day off. It's actually her birthday this week. Normally she would hack out with me, so I've got a few more to do on my own today. And then a couple to groundwork. And yeah, we've not had any shows, which is nice. Got some young horse stuff going on with Zora again next week. It's been kind of nice having a bit of downtime. Obi's been hacking, a little bit of jumping, which has been cool. So yeah, looking forward to what's to come, but equally enjoying this little bit of quiet hacking time. So yes, I will rejoin you when maybe I'm on my next horse. Out for some fitness work with Nora in the fields. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to video any of this because I don't have a selfie stick. But this is Nora, who is owned by my landlord, actually. She's lovely. She's a very, very hungry cob, if you know what I mean. But I just ride her a few times a week for him to keep her ticking over, and because he's a busy guy. And so, yeah, Fridays are hacking days for Nora. We're really lucky to be able to ride around these fields that are literally just local to the yard. I just got to make sure I stick around the edge because they cut them for hay. So, yeah. Felt horrible this morning. I didn't really know whether to talk about it because I like to be positive on my videos, but I felt really heavy. I've got a massive clinic tomorrow. I'm teaching 24 people in one day. Which is amazing, and I'm so excited. It's a cross-country clinic, actually, really local to me, at a place called Kimpton Cross Country. But I'm kind of, it's one of those, like, looking forward to it, but also it's going to be a lot of work. So, yeah, that's tomorrow, and that's maybe why I woke up feeling a bit heavy today. Feeling better now that I'm on a horse, as always. So, it's my therapy and my work, how lucky I am. But yeah, I just... yeah, it can be hard sometimes, can't it, getting started? A job is a job at the end of the day. As much as you can love it, sometimes it can become hard and a lot. And yeah, here we are again, talking about the same thing. But I do feel like I'm striking a better balance these days. You guys will be pleased to hear. So yeah, but that's just a big day, isn't it? It's like having a big day of anything. You kind of like work yourself up to it, maybe. Anyway, I'm going to go because we need to do more than just walk, don't we, Nora? She's a bit of a porky pie. So off I go to canter around a field in a cob. What fun. Just having some snacks there.
So like if somebody was like, can I gift you this? You would struggle.
Hacking and snacking.
Okay, so thank you.
And listening to Olivia and Girl About the Yard on their podcast.
The prize that you're about to give away anyway.
It's a great podcast, guys. You guys should listen to it. Verena and Olivia. They sound like great friends. I love listening to people talking on the podcast when they sound like good friends. Oh, look, the sun might come out. Hello. Welcome. Welcome, sunshine. My arm is completely twisted around the wrong way. I'm going to put my camera away again. Just got a monster apple for the first horse to stick its head out. I think it'd probably be Mo, actually. Do you want an apple, Moses? I brought it for you today instead of the dogs. Here, look. Yeah. That is a giant apple. Do you think we could share it with Kenco? Crikey. Kenco has heard me. Here you go. Oh, nice. Where's that giant foal of yours? Look how big she is. That is a big foal. Hiya. You little windies. Oh, don't spit on her, Kenco. That's not nice. Hello. Little chicken head. Inde had her microchip and I sent off the paperwork for her passport. Inde H E with your little funny lip. Oh, you're so cute. You are so cute. Here he is. Mr. Boots. With some shavings in his mane. So, Boots has worked really hard this week, actually. And and I will put in some footage of what he's been up to. So, Boots. There are 2 other videos on Boots. It's a long subject, Boots. He has been one of the most complex horses I have worked with, and not in a dramatic buck you off kind of way, but there's just been many pieces to his puzzle that we have been working through. So I'll fill you in briefly while I'm pondering through the muddy bit. His owner came to me because she was having trouble. He was running off and generally was anxious and unhappy, and she had been recommended to me by somebody who she worked with, so it wasn't through social media or anything like that. It was a bit random, because I have an alternate approach. It's not the old-fashioned approach. So I started working with Helen. We had some groundwork lessons. This is not this beginning of this year, but sort of middle of 2019. We did really well. She was really making good progress, but there were some things that she felt weren't so good where she was keeping him, and she wanted him to come for some training livery because her work was changing and she had a lot going on. So Boots arrived. Here he is. Now we started working together and we started filling in the pieces of the puzzle. He had seen the vet and been scoped clear of ulcers, so that was something that I had thought was possible. When I first ever met Boots, I felt like he had like a fragment of bone in his gum, but she had his head x-rayed and it wasn't there. So we left that trail went quiet. So anyway, he went on a breathing supplement because he had seemingly a breathing problem. Turns out it was just that he was very anxious. He had been on a gastric supplement, like one from the vet, and that hadn't really helped. There were quite a few things that Helen had kind of tried, but not really kind of seeing any improvement from. So when he came to me, we stripped it right back, went back to the groundwork and started working through it with him. So he met the vet and it was deduced that he wasn't unsound, but maybe that he had a bit of a kind of low-grade pain in his high suspensories, so he had some shockwave therapy. And like I said, these are minimal things, but to Boots, Mr. Sensitive, they were big, and it meant that it was slowing down his training and making like a lack of performance, basically, is the way that we described it. So he had that, and that was amazing, and the movement now is so different. The kind of the action behind is better. He would just constantly drag his toes, and that has improved a lot, so that's been really, really good. Another thing that happened, so I had noticed that he was a bit hanging on my left hand when I was schooling him, and I was like, that's weird, where's that come from? And when I say it kind of started happening, it was like within 10 days I kind of noticed it more and more. So I was like, no way, not this bone fragment, the one that I had seen all that time ago. Lo and behold, back it had come. So the vet came, took it out, and he is so much better. It must have been floating around, and that is a thing that they kind of migrate about in their gum, like go up a bit, come down a bit, and we finally got it out, and he is much happier in his mouth. You'll have noticed in some of the videos I was talking about him kind of mouthing, like that kind of thing. So I'm sure that was a screenshotable moment for you all. We had a bitting consultant come to see him, and it was very interesting because a few of the bits really caused him to do more mouthing, so we could tell straight away when he wasn't happy. So so now he is in a neutral turtle top. I'll put a picture of it. It's a really nice simple bit with the bigger ring. You get one with a small ring and a big ring, and the lozenge is kind of flat, so you can see that it would cause it to be like smoother in their mouth, and he's super happy in it. Much stiller, and he mouths up. Didn't used to mouth up, just used to be like dry as a bone, Mr. Jaw clenching. So I'm really pleased with him. He has regular physio, and that is obviously also been totally game changing for him. The first session he had his head on the ground yawning his head off because he had such a headache. But now when she treats him, it's Vicky Boyce, who I use. She's a McTimoney practitioner. She is amazing. Now when she treats him, it's just more maintenance rather than like an overhaul, whereas the first time she treated him, she then treated him again 3 weeks later because he had so much going on. So in general, he is a much happier horse. He is on a gastric supplement still, the one from Premier Performance, Gastro Premier, to help make sure that while we're still transitioning from the tooth removal, the suspensories, the bridle changes, all of it, that everything on the inside is good. And he can be quite seemingly susceptible to pasture change, so if the grass is changing. So that is where we're at with him. Now I'm going to put in some footage. I may have already done that, I'm not sure. But this is some footage from our lesson with Megan. Now this is one of the videos that you could see the whole of on my Patreon page, like I did that. So if you're interested, then you can see the whole thing. So I've moved position on purpose now, and we're going to be working with an exercise looking at straightness. So we've been looking at bending and moving him. So now you need a little more right leg because the quarters are in. Right leg, go on. There, and then left leg a little to keep him straight. So we're going to be working on this exercise where we're checking on our straightness. So we're working with a 3/4 line. Off you go into trot, Meg. And what we're going to be doing is, if he is not straight, we are going to be working using our leg, not our hand, to correct it. So thinking about your hand staying in front of you, your reins are too long. That's it. Very nice. Yeah, good. Really nice there. Good and straight. Once more. Making sure that you're really not doing it for him with your rein. You're really thinking about being soft in the hand, consistently elastic in the contact, and that you're then keeping your leg on, moving him where you need to. Yeah, a little bit more. That's it. Yeah, well done. Nice there. Okay, let's change the rein. This is nice. Boots is good at this exercise. We've been practicing it a fair amount. But if you find that your horse is wobbling from left to right, then it's important that you're really correcting that with your leg and not your hand. We're working on him being around the inside leg and then working on testing that with straightness. You can see that there's still moments of spookiness with Boots, but when he's really truly connected, which he now can do because his body is healthy, then the connection and the fluency is just fantastic. We still get a little bit of the chewing sometimes, which I think is a bit habitual now, as in it's a habit that he's built up. But yeah, that is the Boots update. Helen had a lesson on him and it's just so rewarding. Helen is a wonderful lady and she was in a bad place with her horse and she didn't know where to go and she didn't feel confident about it. Well done. I told you the transitions are getting bigger. Good stuff. And don't feel like you have to canter for hours. Just work through that feeling, get that nice positive. Now just enjoy the feeling of this nice loose canter. Enjoy the feeling of that hip, your hips swinging, your lower leg can hang. Keep the outside hand. Really good. And now through various different routes, we have now got to a happy horse. And actually, he wouldn't hack out before on his own. He bucked her off and galloped home. So to be able to come out like this and have a wander on his own, look, nobody here, is wonderful. And for her, it's a big deal. Everyone's goals are different, right? And hers has always been that she just wants a happy, healthy horse that she can love and enjoy and train on. And here we are. So I am so thankful to all of my professionals, to my farrier who has balanced his feet better to make sure that his suspensories have the support they need despite not having any damage to them. Mr. Sensitive needs them to be well looked after. To my vet for not going with the blanket approach and really making sure that we were treating this horse for this horse. To my lovely back person Vicky, who, you know, set the wheels in motion when it came to releasing some of his tension and his pain. To, who else do I need to thank? Premier Performance for treating the inside of the horse so that I can train the outside. So many people. And I'm just, my dentist, goodness, can't forget Martin. He is, again, a horse person. And all of these people are horse people. They're not just good at what they do. They are good at looking at the whole picture. And they all work together. The vet and the farrier and the vet and the dentist, the back person and the vet, everybody works together. And through then all of the, you know, the supplements that I use, the saddle pads that I ride in that are like icing on the cake. And the cake has many ingredients, guys, and this is so important. If your horse has trouble, there's going to be more than one reason for that trouble. it's not one thing. Sometimes you're lucky and it is one thing and you fix one thing and then the horse is good as new. But sometimes, and more often, it is many things. And those many things make a very beautiful cake. But you have to have the many things. As you will learn from my Instagram, you cannot forget the eggs in a cake. If anybody follows me, you'll know what I'm talking about. Do not forget the eggs of the cake. And this is the thing, so you can't miss bits. And that's what we've learnt with Boots. You couldn't miss a single thing. And he is a very, very different, happy horse now. And I hope, having watched these little bits of video that you have just watched, that you can see a change in him. And maybe I'll have found some previous video from before to clip in there. But yeah, it's been an interesting journey with this horse. And look, we're not finished. He's going to stay here. He will hopefully stay training with me forever. But he is very different in his body now, and it means now that the training can progress. We had really plateaued, but now we can start looking forward, taking him out, doing some fun stuff.